ZMF Aeolus, the world's most beautiful looking and sounding headphones? Let's find out. Hey friends, good to see you. My name is Marcello. In this episode, I'm going to be reviewing the Aeolus from ZMF Headphones. ZMF Headphones is a one-of-a-kind artisan headphone manufacturer. Their headphones are handmade in the USA and feature the combination of beautiful craftsmanship and incredible sound. Zach and his team utilize many different types of wood materials for the cups of the headphones to provide both a visually stunning headphone design along with audibly pleasing experience. So let's talk about my preferences in sound as well as my setup for this review. In order for me to properly review these headphones in a way I enjoy and that is easy for new and more experienced audio enthusiasts to follow along with, I decided to formulate a method that combines the use of a playlist of songs that I have heard many times across genres of music that I enjoy and listen to regularly. I also decided it would be important to have a reference set of headphones. The first true audiophile grade headphones I owned were the Sennheiser 6XX. The 650 and 6XX is considered by many to be one of the top reference headphones in the world for their price to performance. They have sold thousands worldwide, so there is a good chance you may own a pair or have heard them before. Throughout this review, I will reference the differences between the two headphones and how the Aeolus compares. This format should be fairly easy to follow along, as I won't get deep into overly technical measurements, frequency response charts, but focus on the music and overall sound to my ears. The review will cover 5 main areas: build quality and comfort, quality of sound, timbre, imaging and soundstage, and synergies and overall conclusions. So let's jump right in. For this review, my impressions are my own, and you may think or hear differently than I do, and that's totally okay. We all hear a little differently, and we all may value a certain sound signature or a product feature more than another, and that's totally cool. Personally, I tend to prefer a slightly warmer sound signature with good bass, lush mids, and detail-rich treble that is not harsh or fatiguing. I enjoy both an intimate as well as a more open soundstage. The ability for a headphone to image or position sounds on the respective soundstage is important to me, as well as their ability to properly separate instruments from vocals. I will be using several different amps and DACs to draw my conclusions as well as to search for possible synergies. My most neutral setup, providing little to no coloration to the music, will be the SMSL SP200 THX amp paired with a topping D90 digital analog converter. I will also utilize the Cavalli Tube Hybrid amp paired with the topping D90, the Lear 3 with stock tube paired with a Bifrost tube, the IFI IDSD Micro Black Label DAC, and Dragonfly Red and the FIO BTR3. I also checked to see how well the headphones take to tone control using the Loki from AposAudio. Jump right in and talk about the build quality, comfort, and specs. The Aeolus ship with a tough seahorse case lined with foam to protect them. Inside the case, you'll find your cables, additional pads if you order them, a handwritten serial number card, and printed note from Zach welcoming you to the ZMF family. This is a really nice touch and just a grand slam all the way around. The case also serves as a great way to protect them from drops, humidity, and the inquisitive nature or hands of a toddler. I feel the build quality of these headphones is extremely special. The particular headphones reviewed here are made from limited camphor burl wood and have the brass fittings. They are a true piece of artwork in a world of mass-produced plastic headphones. These handmade to order headphones are, in my opinion, the most beautiful headphones I've ever seen or held. They are true heirloom quality and will be handed down to my daughter one day. The Aeolus are comfortable, coming in around 445 grams, which is heavier than, say, the Sennheiser 650s, but they don't feel that heavy. The reason for this is due to the well-designed headband system. The cups Headband and earpads evenly distribute the weight very well on my head. They sound and feel great if you wear glasses, and the large soft pads fit over the ear pieces of most glasses. There's also significantly less clamp force from the Aeolus than the 650s. The headband design, along with the reduced clamp force, just feels more comfortable from Aeolus than many headphones I have worn. You also have the option to pad roll or change the ear pads, allowing yourself to alter the sound signature based on your listening preferences. The Aeolus I reviewed came with Universe suede pads and the Universe perforated hybrid pads. If all of that amazing build quality and comfort you receive with the headphones isn't enough for you, throw in a lifetime warranty on the drivers as well. Sound quality aside, ZMF headphones justify their price in my opinion all day, every day. So let's talk about some tracks that really stood out to me from my playlist when comparing and listening to the ZMF Aeolus to the Sennheiser 6XX. The first track on my playlist, from the Grateful Dead, Friend of the Devil, the ZMF Aeolus sound more detailed, enabling me to hear more of the subtle sounds on the track, such as fingers on the strings of the guitar. Garcia's vocals also to my ears just sound more natural with an overall more engaging presentation of this song compared to the 6XX. I can definitely notice right off the bat the Sennheiser sound more intimate, as well as more congested, having a less noticeable separation between the vocals and the instruments. I also noticed the Aeolus have a slightly wider, deeper stage with overall tonality of the instruments and vocals sounding better to my ears. A song that never gets old to me, In the Air Tonight from Phil Collins. The Aeolus have better separation on this track, and instrument placement on the soundstage is just better done. The treble sounds more resolving to my ears, along with a significantly tighter bass region and lower frequencies. The 6XX sound more congested and muddy, especially in the bass region. At about the 3:40 mark, when the drums come in, the Aeolus just show how much more engaging and evocative they sound, giving me the chills. The separation of the instruments and vocals once again sound better to me throughout this track. Another standout track is Lana Del Rey's Love. Her vocals sound more ethereal when listening to the Aeolus. Again, the way the music decays and the subtle reverb from the wood ear cups really sounds incredible from one of my favorite female vocalists. When the drums and the lower frequencies come in at around the 48-second mark of the song, the sense of impact is greater from the ZMF Aeolus. Once again, the separation of her vocals from the instruments and other sounds on the recording are done better to my ears with the ZMFs. Hello from Adele is a great track for me to listen to and test headphones, as certain headphones can almost sound harsh or vocally brittle at times on this track. At the 107 mark, when Adele's voice becomes more powerful, the Aeolus sound cleaner and less congested. The Sennheisers present a more grainy sound, as if they can't quite carry her voice as it should be fully throughout the range. This can be heard a few times throughout the next 10 seconds or so of the song. The Aeolus are able to sound clean and detailed on this track while not sounding harsh, which is really important when listening to it. M3LL155X, say that 5 times fast. From FKA Twigs, my ears quickly perceive more detail and separation from the Aeolus, which seem to be even more noticeable when I'm listening to modern produced music genres on the Aeolus. And comparing the two headphones between the 6XX, there's a distinct difference in how well separation is done. At about the 40-second mark, when the bass hits, the Aeolus really outmatch the 6XX. Throughout the song, the detail, imaging of sounds throughout the smaller stage, along with tighter, better controlled sounding bass and sub-bass, are standout qualities from the ZMF Aeolus. One of my favorite tracks of the Uncut Gems movie soundtrack, Blinding Lights from The Weeknd, I immediately appreciate the lower frequencies and how they better rumble. When the drums hit, I find myself immediately more engaged and involved. The synth sounds have more clarity and definition. If you can imagine a photography analogy, the sound of the Aeolus to me are more in focus and they have better clarity and better detail, whereas the 6XX tend to sound a bit more congested or more out of focus to my ears. Another track that stood out to me was Crimson Tide, Angels and Demons, 160 BPMs from Hans Zimmer live in Prague. Around the 3-minute mark, the impact from the drums when they come in, along with the electric guitar as it's ripping, the positions of instruments are better defined on the soundstage. Once again, the Aeolus have significantly better impact from the drums and lower frequencies. Around the 4-minute and 38-second mark, when the drums in the song go on attack, I really hear the energy of the ZMF drivers versus the Sennheisers. Another great example in this long but awesome track is around the 8-minute and 33-second mark. The slightly wider stage, better instrument separation, and impact of the Aeolus again outclass the 6XX. Normally I wouldn't put the Aeolus as my top choice for listening to orchestral or classical music. I would currently probably reach for the Headphone Amplifier for this type of music. So when listening to the theme from Jurassic Park by John Williams and the London Symphony Orchestra, compared to the 6XX, I'm immediately struck by how much better the wind instruments sound from the Aeolus. The timbre sounds more natural and the entire song just has a more grand sound signature to it, evoking similar emotion in me to the first time that I saw this movie. The Aeolus are truly an all-around solid headphone for multiple genres of music. Electronic music is one of my favorite genres of music, and the tracks Stress from Tycho and the ZMF Aeolus seem to find themselves right at home with each other. They sound clean, with more air, very satisfying, lower frequencies. The Aeolus have some booty, if you will. Booty. While sounding rich throughout the low and mid-range, with not compromising on the treble region. A track I love for evaluating headphones is Wandering from Yoshi Harakawa. This track really allows you to pick up on subtle details and sounds when listening to good audio equipment. With the 6XX, you have what sounds like a left, center, and right soundstage, whereas the Aeolus to my ears have a slightly wider and deeper stage in the form of a small half circle in front of you, making the experience so much more immersive when hearing this track. One of my all-time favorite songs is Black from Pearl Jam, and the ZMF Aeolus don't disappoint. The better separation of the instruments, vocals, and slight reverb from the wood cups with sweet subtle decay just sound perfect to my ears. The ZMF house sound is truly special. I feel like I'm right back at junior high at our school dance. Fear Inoculum from Tool is another dope track that really shows more of the Aeolus's strengths as a multi-genre executing headphone. All the details of the cymbals, triangle, bongo drums, guitar, drums, and kick drums image very well with good separation on the Aeolus soundstage. This song definitely has me bobbing my head and tapping my foot when the vocals come in. They envelop me. Last but not least, a couple of the live songs on my playlist. Live Aid from Queen and Shine On You Crazy Diamond from Pink Floyd have me wondering if the Aeolus might be one of the best headphones I've ever heard so far for live music recordings. They just make you feel like you're at a concert, a truly epic party for your ears. So my key takeaways around the quality of sound for the ZMF Aeolus would be the bass and lower frequencies sound lush, but well controlled with good impact. They are well done without being overdone, in my opinion. The mid-range to my ears sound just right, well balanced, not overdone, and tuned to match the rest of their frequencies excellently. The treble regions sound great to me, with plenty of detail without being sibilant, harsh, or too bright. The treble is always engaging, but smooth. I am sensitive to most overly bright headphones, and the ZMF Aeolus never caused me to feel any listening fatigue. The timbre of the ZMF Aeolus are excellent, with natural sounding tonality to my ears from any genre I listen to. Vocals and instruments sound as they should to my ears, and I believe the timbre of these headphones is gotta be one of their greatest strengths. Imaging and soundstage of the Aeolus do a decent job with separating instruments, vocals, and sounds on most recordings. They tend to play sounds well on their somewhat intimate sized soundstage. The stage isn't huge. I would estimate it to be similar to sitting in the first or second row at a concert. Whereas with the Sennheiser 650s, it sounds like you might be the microphone or standing very close to the singer on stage. To close up the review, let's talk about synergy and my conclusions. So far, I have yet to find an amp or DAC that the Aeolus sound bad with. They are a chameleon, allowing themselves to sound good on any audio chain I plug them into so far. They are 300 ohm with a 99 decibel milliwatt sensitivity, however, so a proper powered headphone amplifier will really allow them to reach their full potential. I have read much about the synergy of the Aeolus and the Bottlehead Crack and other OTL tube amplifiers, but at the time of this video, I'm still in the process of building the Bottlehead Crack headphone amp, so I can't comment personally on that synergy until that amp is finished being built. The Aeolus sounded excellent on all of my gear from the gear list in the description of the video below, with only the FIO BTR3 and AudioQuest Dragonfly Red not delivering as much audible potential from these headphones as my other audio chains. However, let's be realistic. These headphones are made to sit back in your favorite chair or at your desk and have a proper amp DAC feeding them. These would not be my choice to take on the go. I really enjoyed the pairing of the iFi IDSD Micro Black Label headphone amplifier with the dual Burr Brown digital analog converter chips with the Aeolus. Having the ability to flip the X-Bass switch up on certain tracks as well as a 3D switch allowed for a very engaging and emotional listening experience. The Aeolus take tone control well through the low key, allowing you to adjust the levels across 4 frequency ranges to your liking. However, I found this to be completely unnecessary and love the tuning of the Aeolus as is. In conclusion, the Aeolus from ZMF are my favorite headphones currently for overall music enjoyment. There are more analytical and detailed headphones out there. There are headphones that have more bass or they're one specific trick, but the ZMF Aeolus to my ears get it right all the way around for the type of music I enjoy and the sound signature I prefer. The only thing I would say at times I find myself wanting from the Aeolus is a slightly larger, more three-dimensional soundstage. However, that is what the Verite Open from ZMF are all about from my understanding, and maybe, just maybe, I can talk Zach into sending me a pair for review. I linked to ZMF's website as well as to the gear used to evaluate and review these headphones in the video description below, if you want to check them out. Until next time, thanks for watching and subscribing. Much love, friends.